What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Second Time Out. This is episode number 51, 51 of them. Um, Today we're back with, it's March. Some people's favorite time of the year. I'm more April. April's pretty fun, but March is a really good time because it's March Madness time. Um, I failed to make a bracket. James has a bracket. Nate has a bracket. But today we're going to do our own bracket. We're going to hop into NCAA players all-time list, and I've kind of made a list, seeded them, and we're going to go through this bracket, and we're going to claim a winner of the best NCAA player of all time. This can be very biased. This episode, like, if you really like Steph Curry back in college, like, hold it high, man. Like, don't be scared to be biased. So, yeah, I'm excited. Let's get into her. We'll start here at the top. Start at the top. 17 seed versus the 16 seed. We got Doug McDermott against Emeka Okafor. So try to remember Emeka Okafor. He was a pretty good college player.
Well, since
Um,
we're being biased, I'm going Doug McDermott. I have fond memories of using. He used to get a bunch of cards around this time, a bunch
mhm.
of basketball games I used to play when I was younger, so I'm just more familiar with Doug McDermott.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same place you are, Nate. Um, I should have touched up on it a bit more, but I'm going Dougie Doug on this one.
Dude, I'm gonna go with Doug, man. Doug was so cold in college, dude. He was like, well, dude, I thought he was gonna be so good in the NBA, but he's just a role player and he's gets his minutes, man. He's way better than Mecca was in the NBA, I'll tell you that. So we're going with Doug McDermott. So he advances. All right, we got the 9 seed versus the 24 seed. This is gonna be a tough one, man. We got number 9, Kenyon Martin, against number 24, Jimmer Fredette. Wee. I don't know. I'll start us off, man. I mean, it's gonna be biased, man. Big upset here. Give me Jimmer. I mean, this was our time growing up. This was like I can't remember exactly the year, but growing up, watching March Madness, making a bracket, and back then it was just like it's fun now, but it was even more fun back then. And when Jimmer was going on that run, like a Jeremy Lin run, it was just some of the most pure fun I've had watching college basketball. So give me that guy right there.
I mean, I like your argument, I do. And Jimmer Fredette, he's one of those dudes, kind of like McDermott for me. But I'm gonna take the whole body of work. I'm gonna go Kenyon Martin.
Okay, he was good in college. He was. He was won a lot. He won a lot of games, so that matters too.
I think you guys got two pretty good arguments. I guess I'm the deciding factor here.
Hmm.
Um, you can't dismiss Jimmer's NCAA run in the tournament. I mean, seeing that boy play, he was cold. But I'm going to kind of go with Nate on this one. If we're talking about best NCAA players of all time, you kind of have to look at the full body of work. So, with that reason, I'm going to go Kenyon Martin.
I respect it. He has a 24 seed for a reason. He had one good year, and it happened to go around March, so it's hard to back that up. All right, we'll just go through these first seeds here. So we got a good one, another good one. We got number 21, John Wall, against number 12, Dwayne Wade. So we got Kentucky versus Dwayne Wade went to Marquette, I believe.
Hmm.
Um, Man, they were both very similar in college, explosive guards. Very exciting to watch.
I'll start us off here.
Yeah.
So, looking at both of these players, John Wall's NCAA career was like a one and done because then, so I was watching this thing where DeMarcus Cousins was talking about their run that they had, and John Wall was crying after the game, and DeMarcus Cousins said, "Man, what you crying for? You're about to be the number one overall pick." And I just thought that was funny.
Yeah, that
But
is hilarious.
Dwayne Wade had a little bit more body of work at a smaller school, and for that reason, I'm going to go Dwayne Wade here.
Dwayne Wade, I'm going with him as well. Um, he had kind of like remember when Ja Morant was coming out of where'd he come out of? I'm drawing a blank. Came out of a very
It's a
small school, but yeah, he came out of a small school, and like people were just talking about him coming up March Madness. So I haven't watched much, and then it happens. March Madness happens, and dude is just on another level. That's what Dwayne Wade was. So yeah, give me him.
I would say Wade already won, so we'll just keep it easy.
All right. So this is a sleeper, man. Not a lot of people know about Shane Battier in college, but he was
mm,
a top three
I'm
pick,
one of them.
man. He was a top three pick. Talked about like crazy. I forget what the comparison was. He had a crazy comparison coming out, but he's going up against another dude that just happened to happen during our growing up days in number 20, Kemba Walker. You start us off, Nate.
Well, I already said I'm one of those people that don't know a whole lot about Shane. So, and like you said, Kimball Walker is around our time, so that's something I have a little bit more of a fond memory about. So I'm gonna go Kimba.
Yeah, I think the selection committee kind of made a mistake putting Kemba at 20, aka myself. I mean, dude has a whole body of work really when you think about his college days. So this is gonna be a close one for me. But I'm gonna go with Kemba as well. Another upset. Upsets happen all the time in the tourney. I think if Shane Battier goes up against Doug McDermott, we got a different argument. But Kemba was the real deal.
Yeah, I'm go with how you guys are rolling here. So for Shane Battier, uh, incredible college career with Duke. I mean, you're talking about a two-way player who found success in the NBA as well. Maybe didn't play up to that number three overall pick potential, but I mean, he was a dog. But I can't dismiss the four-seeded UConn Huskies the first time I ever watched any NCAA basketball, and man was just a dog, man. I mean, I picked him that year. I remember my grandma's work bracket, and I won like $400 as like a 12-year-old kid. I was on top of the world. So for sure, I got some fond memories of Kimba and hitting some buzzer beaters. When you think of
Yeah,
college ball, you think of that clip. And I know what clip you're thinking of. It's against Pittsburgh where he hits that buzzer beater. So,
I think that's the first time they called him cardiac Kemba because he just got your heart
mhm.
racing. Like he was just like, oh shoot, it's about crunch time. Kemba's got the ball, and he transferred that a little bit in the NBA where he had clutch moments in the NBA. Like dude
I
always was clutch.
I think they had Jeremy Lamb on that team as well.
Yep. Yes, they did.
So I mean that was a special team looking back on it. Like they won the tournament for a reason.
We might see you come win again this year, man. Good stuff. All right. We'll stay there. Oh shoot. Okay. We're good. We're good. We're good. And we'll scroll over. Got another side, gentlemen. All right. Start here at the top. Got number 19, Buddy Hield versus number 14, Rip Hamilton. Man, it's tough because I feel like these older players, I don't know, I didn't draw it up like this, but these older players are going up against our generation. And it's tough to
Yeah,
not, since we didn't get to watch Rip Hamilton in college, it's tough. But his stats were pretty absurd, so I'm going to go with Rip.
I'm right there with you. I know a little bit about Hamilton, and like you said, Buddy Hield was what 2017, 2018, around that time.
Hmm.
So that was a lot more recent, but you got to give props to the older dudes.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, I guess I'm not changing anyone's opinion, but I mean, Buddy Hield was a dog. I mean, he won the Naismith Player of the Year. He was averaging close to 30 points with Oklahoma. I
Hmm.
mean, his teams didn't find much success, but as an individual player, he was legit. And um, I'm pretty sure he was like a top five pick coming out, wasn't he?
I think he fell a little bit just because he was a 4-year player, but he was a
Oh,
lottery
okay.
pick. Yeah,
Yeah.
he went 4
Yeah.
years, so that NBA looks on that, frowns upon it, but still, sharpshooter, man.
And he's still
hmm
started in the league today.
Hmm. All right. We got Michael Beasley, number 11, versus Ohio State's very own Evan Turner.
Mm.
Give me Michael Beasley, man. I mean, I think Michael Beasley might have got slayed a little bit at the 11th because Michael Beasley was talked about like there was probably grandpas out there talking about Michael Beasley to their grandkids, something crazy, bro. Like, dude was absolute bucket hitter. Did not transfer into the NBA, but was a bucket hitter.
Yeah, I'm a roll with you as well on this one. I mean, when you think of the name Michael Beasley, just straight assassin, straight a
Yeah,
bucket getter, like you said, like legit game time, like that's who you want taking the final shot.
yeah, and he's still hooping, man, playing in the Big Three league.
Hmm.
Mm. He's a dog in college, so I'm going with Beasley as well.
All right, that's a funny one. So we got Adam Morrison that blessed himself versus Trey Young. Hmm. Somebody else start us off
Didn't
Uh,
Adam Morrison win a championship?
for
National
Gonzaga.
champ?
I'm not sure. Played at Gonzaga. Can't recall.
Gonzaga has never won a national championship.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, so chalk that
So
up.
no.
Trey Young didn't
All
win a
right.
national championship either, though. I'm just
I know
saying.
now. So it doesn't even matter.
Mm,
Give me Trey Young.
yeah.
Why? He's just a better hooper.
I mean, when you coming out of college and you're talking about like Steph Curry, I mean, Al Morrison was probably talked about crazy, but obviously wasn't all that great. So give me
Yeah,
Trey.
I'm with y'all on that one. I mean, that's what we thought. Like watching Trey in college, we're like, yeah, this is the next step. I mean, not to knock anything off Trey, he's still legit. Like he's still a great player, but maybe not going to come close to being on that tier with Steph. But he resembles a lot of Steph's game, just no
Yeah,
defense at all.
yeah, he's not six. People underestimate that Steph's 6'4". You know,
Yeah.
can play a little more deep. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and chalk this up, bro. Give me Blake Griffin. I know about Elton Brand, but Blake Griffin at Oakland. I mean at Oklahoma. Well, Oakland's on my mind because of the tournament that's going on right now. But Blake Griffin out of Oklahoma was the real deal. Elton Brand, though, his post game, nothing like it. If if the post was that like enforced like it used to be, he would have been a dog. But I'm gonna go with Blake.
I'm gonna pay tribute to the old heads out there. Give me Elton Brand. This is another person that like his name always constantly pops up when you think of March Madness, even if he is in the older generation.
Hmm.
When I think of Blake Griffin, I think of NCAA. Is that 08, 010, whatever,
Yeah, it was
whatever.
like one of the last basketball games they made.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy how many great Oklahoma players are on this bracket. I guess I never like kind of even thought about that. But I'm with
Hmm.
Nate. Give me the old head. Give me Elton Brand.
I got you. Been overruled. I ain't mad at it. All right, let's scroll back over. All right, now we're getting to the top dogs, man. We got KD himself versus Doug McDermott. I mean, this is a one seed for a reason. The literal one seed. The kid out of Texas, the Slenderman. Give me Kevin Durant.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. It's not too much to say.
Yeah, I mean, dude averaged 28 in college, and yeah,
Instantly transferred to the league.
yeah, no doubts about it.
Yeah, give me KD.
Sorry to see you go, Doug. It's been real, man. Ooh, two very similar players here. We got Kenyon Martin versus Carmelo. Let's start with James. I know Carmelo's one of his dogs. Let's start with James.
Uh, I don't know. I think I I think when someone were to ask me who is the best NCAA player of all time, and honestly, one of the first people I think about is Carmelo Anthony, and for that reason, I'm taking him over Kenyon Martin.
I'm right with you, man. Coming out of
Yep.
Syracuse, he was something else.
Oh, and he had like a 33-point game in the Final Four, and then they end up winning the championship. So it's hard to go against Melo.
Yeah, he's got the resume for sure. That's gonna be an interesting matchup right there. We'll get to it though. All right, another college legend, Tyler Hansbrough. Haven't heard that name in a long, long time. Versus Dwayne Wade. It's a tough matchup. Hansbrough, I believe, won a championship, and I'm gonna go with him.
I'm
I mean,
going
full
Dwayne
body
Wade.
of work. Okay.
I'm a massive casual. Don't really know who this Tyler guy is. I do apologize, but I
Ooh.
know who Dwayne Wade is.
Yeah, you gotta watch some Tyler Hansbrough tape. It was pretty scrappy.
hmm yeah, I'm with you, Dom, on this one. I mean, he had a more lengthy career than Dwayne Wade, did win the championship, so I'm definitely going to go Tyler Hansbrough on this one. I think he's kind of what embodies what college basketball is.
Hmm. Loved his team. He would do anything as an alumni. So yeah,
White boy's cold.
he's cold. All right, man. I don't know how I did this, but we got we've had some really good matchups. We got another one here. We got the kid from Davidson, Steph Curry versus Kemba. Man, one has a championship and Steph fell short. Kemba should be more like a 10 seed, 9 seed, pushing stock up.
At least top 10.
I'll start us off here, and I'm gonna keep pushing this narrative. Give me Kemba here. I think Steph Curry had kind of a cool Cinderella run with his Davidson team, but when you win a national championship for UConn like Kemba did, and the way that he did it, carrying the team on his back, I can't overlook that. So definitely give me Kemba.
I'm right there with you.
I think he swayed me as well. Um, yeah, the selection committee's gonna get in trouble for this one. Kemba's way too low. All right, we're getting towards it. All right, Zion Williamson versus Rip Hamilton. I'm gonna be honest. Should have done a little bit of research on Rip, but Zion had a great career, but not a lot of wins, man. Not a lot of wins. Dude went out the Taco Fall, or almost lost Taco Fall. I can't remember. I think he did lose the Taco Fall. I don't know. I'll start us off, man. I'm gonna go with Rip.
Let me take seconds before Nate gives his decision. So I'm gonna go Zion here, just because I felt like when he was in college, coming out of high school, and when he was playing at Duke, I felt like every time this man was on, everyone was tuning in.
Yeah.
Everyone was tuning in, and man was making insane plays. I think they got to the Elite Eight. They did beat Taco Fall, but
Okay.
they lost to, I think it was like a 6 or an 8 seeded South Carolina team that they should have beat because they were a number 1 seed that year.
Yep.
Because it was R.J. Barrett, Zion, and Cam Reddish. I mean, they had a
Mhm.
squad, and I think they had Grayson Allen coming off the bench too. Like,
They had. I think they had one of the Jones brothers.
yeah, yeah, was their starting point guard. So I mean, like, they had NBA starters even on the bench. But he did only play 1 year and went to the draft. So you want to talk about longevity, you would give it to Rip, but just for his one season of dominance and must-see TV, I'm going Zion here.
I'm going Rip here, but I really like your argument for Zion because outside of like Wembanyama this year, I mean, he is like the most hyped up draft prospect that I've seen in a little while for the NBA. And like you said, every time that Duke was playing, like it was national TV. But
hmm
I'm gonna have to give Rip Hamilton the spot here.
I want to change mine, but I'm not gonna go back on my word, man. I'm a man of my word. But James gave a really good speech, man. Might have to, dude. If I got remarried, he'd be giving my my open speech, man, because that was tough. Ooh, man, these matchups they're tough. I mean, it's March Madness usually happens like this, but Michael Beasley versus JJ Redick. Man,
Let
that
me
boy
start us
JJ is
off.
cold though. Yeah,
Let
go
me start us
crazy.
off on this one. All right, so I'm gonna go JJ here. I know we're kind of sticking to these Duke guys, and I see Jay Williams down there, so we'll be getting to him. But JJ Redick, you got to understand, he was the villain before there was a villain when it comes to
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
college basketball. I mean, he would be coming in these gyms, and he is the most hated player. Everyone knows, everyone on TV knows it, and deep down, he knows it. And the fact that this man was going out there and giving buckets to whoever, um, that shows a lot in the type of player he is. Like to be probably one of the only white people on that court and
Yeah.
getting flamed for it all the time. Um, so give me JJ. I love him as a person. I know you guys do too, but people, I swear, I'm not even making this up. People used to call me JJ Redick back was uh when I was at Friendly House at summer camp. Oh,
Heck yeah.
I had all these black kids. They were like, that's little JJ Redick. All these older black kids, they're like, that's little JJ Redick. And for that reason alone, I started watching Duke basketball. I'm like, man, I like JJ Redick.
hmm
So I gotta stick with it.
Yeah, it's good stuff. JJ, another guy that put on for his team, really embodied like, hey, I go to Duke and I'm Duke forever. I mean, he's Duke
Hmm.
forever. He's it's run through his blood. So he embodies college basketball. I don't think Michael Beasley's flexing his college days that much as JJ would. So I'm definitely going with JJ as well.
Yeah, I'm right there with you guys. James kind of he got me going right there.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I mean, JJ, I get, listen, I planted a church and my pastor, his biggest fan, I mean, his favorite player is JJ Redick. So all I heard was about this JJ Redick run. That's half my life hearing about JJ. So I'm definitely going with him. Another Dookie, another slept on, might not know. Jay Williams was a problem, man.
Hmm.
Jay Williams was a real problem. Got a championship. I mean, he does college basketball now for a reason because, back in 2000s, people knew who Jay Williams was. Um, Trey doesn't have the same resume as this guy. I'm going Jay.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Dom. I mean, he's kind of a player that I think embodies what Coach K wants in a player. And bleeds blue. I mean, I loved. He was a little before our time, but I've seen the highlights and I've seen the impact that he had on college ball back in the day and what he still does now. And he has a lot of respect for the players, and the players respect him as well.
hmm
Now I'm right there with you guys. Trey Young barely made it out of the last round, so
Yeah, it's true. All right.
Anthony Davis.
Yeah, I think this one's pretty easy. Elton
Hmm.
Brand got that little first round dub. He was feeling pretty good about himself. Then he ran into like what we saw at Utah State when they had to play Zach Edey. It's a little bit of what's going on here. Yeah, give me AD.
Give me AD all day.
All right. And so we got a one and done. Man, oh man. Who wants to start us off?
I'll go
James
ahead.
James is the mellow guy.
James is our NCAA guy too. Draft
Hey,
expert
hey,
NCAA guy.
this is what I'm saying. All right. So I think when you look at the body of work, right, Melo Melo should have probably been the number one overall pick if it weren't for LeBron, right? Um,
Absolutely.
and KD wasn't even the number one overall pick, which is kind of crazy. That blows my mind.
Yeah.
So, but when you look at their college careers, like you said, KD's a one and done, and Melo went on to win the chip. for Syracuse. And I don't know. I'm just like, give me Melo. I'm not going to try to sway you guys or anything like that, but just know, give me Melo.
Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, as much as I'm a Kevin Durant fan, my brother, when we were growing up, his favorite player was Carmelo Anthony. So I do know a lot more about Carmelo than just about any other player. And like I said, he dropped 33 points in the Final Four, and then the next game they went on and won the championship. I mean, that little run by itself kind of speaks for itself.
Yeah. I mean, you guys picked it, but I'm gonna go with you because of this reason. So, like James was talking about, KD was the second pick, just like Melo. But when you look at Greg Oden, who was the number one pick that year, they won the championship. That's what really mattered. Winning really mattered back then. And when Greg Oden came out and played for Ohio State and won that championship, like people looked at that was like, this is going to transfer. He's going to stay healthy. That didn't happen. And he goes number one instead of KD. Carmelo, on the other hand, gets it done, wins at the highest level. So give me Carmelo.
Greg Oden, who's on crack.
Hmm.
Shout out Stephen A.
All right. We got Tyler Hansbrough versus Kemba. Yeah, Nate, this is gonna be tough for you, man. If you don't know about Tyler Hansbrough, you don't know that this is actually kind of hard. You're like, who's Tyler Hansbrough? He played for the Pacers in the NBA. I mean, he had a decent little career for a little bit, but didn't pan out exactly how we thought. I'm gonna just say it now. Give me Kemba. He's having another cardiac run. He's sitting at the 20 seed. It's cardiac Kemba, man. He's making his runs through this tournament picking at the top of the order.
Go ahead, Nate.
I'm gonna let you go because I feel like I have the least bit of knowledge on this, so I don't want to sway anything the wrong way.
Oh, you don't want
Hey,
to say it.
like I said, I'm gonna keep pushing this narrative. Give me Kemba Walker.
All right, Kimba, it is.
All
Sorry,
right.
Tab. Maybe next year, I'll know a little bit more.
We're going to have Nate one day. When we make it big, we're going to have Nate one-on-one with Tyler Hansbrough interview.
No, we're just going to pull up some clips on here and just hit record, and we're just all going to react to it.
Yeah, we'll do a Tyler Hansbrough reaction video. That's a good idea. All right, Rip Hamilton versus JJ. All right, Rip slid enough for me. He slid through enough for me. Yeah, give me JJ.
I'm right there with you. James already did a deep dive into why JJ Redick
Yeah,
is
it's
at his top. So
gonna
Hey,
get tough.
shout out to Rip though for making it that far.
yeah,
Yeah, it's about to Rip for real. And he's got a championship in the NBA, so I don't think he's worried about college. Dude, I'll tell you right now, I was looking at, all time NCAA players rankings. I scrolled on the one list. They had Joe Williams at number two. And that was behind KD, and then number three was Anthony Davis. So this is a lot tougher than it looks by the seeding.
I'll start us off here. Um, I think people forget how dominant Anthony Davis was in college. I know he was number one overall pick and went to New Orleans. Now everyone's like calling him soft, all that stuff. In college, he wasn't.
Mm,
College, you couldn't even drive the ball and get a block against this man. I mean, they won the championship for a reason. I don't even think they lost I think they lost one game that year. They were probably one of the best college teams ever.
yes.
I mean, and Anthony Davis was the anchor to that defense, and he was the leading scorer on that team. Like, Buddy was what embodies college basketball to a T.
Yeah,
Give
I
me,
mean, he's the two seed for the reason. We've got a lot of upsets already. Um, Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Davis. I mean, like you talked about, when you talk about all-time teams, the Jay Williams team doesn't come up, but the Anthony Davis team does all the time, and he was the best player on
Mm.
that team. So
Yep.
I'm gonna go with him.
Yep. Right there with you. Best player on his team. And this was a lot more recent, so this is something that I remember more vividly.
Yeah, yeah. Nate's a big best player on his team guy. Appreciate that because Tatum slanderers can't hate on us.
Hey, let me just read off the final four to our viewers. All right, so on the west side, we got Carmelo Anthony from Syracuse versus Kemba Walker, and on the east side, we got JJ Redick of Duke versus Anthony Davis of Kentucky. So kind of cool to see some blue blood action in there, as well as um, people that kind of did go on to have successful careers in the NBA, and they're all from different teams. So how about that?
Mm.
Yeah, that is wild. It's all blue bloods. Um, Syracuse, they used to be good every single year though. Back in the day
Yeah.
when Boeheim was really going crazy, they were talked about just like Duke and the rest of them. So it worked out how it should.
hmm
I think we should start with no one other than James because I feel like Carmelo and Kemba are some of his like bread and butter right there. Um,
hmm
that's like his wheelhouse.
I'll get us started then. Give me Carmelo Anthony.
hmm
After all the everything we said throughout this entire process, I think Carmelo Anthony barely has the edge, but I'm going with him.
You want me to go, Dom, or you want to go?
No, no, you be the decider.
All right.
Yeah, you be the decider because I'm gonna go with Kemba. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna just go with Kemba. And another thing is all these players that we have in our Final Four have a championship. Wait, JJ win one?
I think so.
I think he did.
I don't think you can be that hated without winning a championship.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think
Someone,
he was
someone
going for
grabbed
the
their
two
phone
peat.
and
Yeah, yeah. I'll look it
someone,
up while you
someone,
go.
yeah, yeah. Um, Shoot. So for me, these are definitely two people that deserve to be in the Final Four. Um, and I don't know, they both had insane runs. Um, but at the end of the day, give me the better player in college, and that's going to be Melo. As much as it pains me, as much as we love the Cinderella run with UConn back in the day, as much as it touched my childhood, give me Melo because that's the right thing to do.
I like it.
And it's just an honest answer. It's not
hmm
biased.
I kind of picked Kemba because I wanted you to be the deciding factor, and you gave us two straight, man. I mean, Carmelo,
Mm-hmm.
he
Mm-hmm.
embodies a college career.
Yeah.
All right,
He kind of embodies that 2K career.
yeah, yep, yeah. I mean, yeah. Um, yeah. So JJ did not win the championship. But
Oh,
the
we were
first thing
wrong.
that happened when I pulled it up was college career. In his first year at Duke University, Redick led his team with 30 points in their victory over NC State in the ACC tournament championship. So that counts for something because the ACC was really stacked back then. Um, dropped 30 points in
Especially
this,
as a freshman.
yeah, as a freshman, dude. So we're talking about a really good player. But with all that being said, give me Anthony Davis. I mean, best team on one of the best player on one of the best teams of all time.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm right there with you. The amount of NBA talent that that team produced, and like you already said, I'm a big guy being the best player on the best team, and you can still argue that he is the best NBA player out of all those guys.
hmm
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I'm ready for this championship, and I kind of want to lead us off because
Definitely.
I got a good explanation on why I'm picking who I'm picking.
Prediction though, I
Um,
think this one goes to overtime. Go ahead.
so for me, I'm going to go Mellow. and the reason why I have him over Anthony Davis in our final is because Nate just made a great point. He Anthony Davis was the best player on the best team with a bunch of NBA talent around him. But Anthony Davis was only there for a year, right? We're talking about a college career, NCAA players of all time. Melo had, I think he was in he for 2 years, right? Um, was it 2 years? Kind of
Melo.
double back. Yeah, I think it
I'll
was two
double check it.
years.
I'll double
I
check it.
think it was I think it was 2 years. But anyways, what I'm trying to get at is that Melo didn't have the talent that Anthony Davis had around him. Anthony
Mhm.
Davis was dominant, but I mean, when you look at Melo, he would have went number one overall if it weren't for the best player of all time in LeBron James. So for that reason, I'm gonna go Melo.
Yeah, Melo was one and done,
He
but
was.
yes, he was one and done.
Hmm.
Um, Pains me. It really does pain me to say that the unibrow is gone. He's not going to win this championship. I'm gonna go with Carmelo. He put the team on his back, man.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Um, Anthony Davis, he probably carried them in some games down the stretch, but when it really mattered most, NCAA is all about, you know, that player on that team. It's like nowadays it's guard play to me. We've watched this tournament this far and thus far and the guards really stand out. But back then it was the forward. It's a scoring forward. If you had one of those, you were gonna win a lot of games. It didn't matter what the rest of your team looked like. And that was Carmelo, man. I mean, headband on, uh cornrows. He was just a hooper, man. So I'm gonna go with Carmelo.
Hmm.
Hey,
Nate, who would you have went with?
I would have went AD, but I wasn't gonna be mad at either one of these picks because, like I said, these are two of like the guys that I vividly remember.
Exactly. Yeah, this isn't a 16 seed versus a one seed like in the real tournament. No, this is like the number one seed versus the two seed. If we, really took our time and made a list, I just threw a list together with some seeds to try to
Mhm.
make it fun, and this is what we came out with, man. We're gonna go Carmelo, Anthony. I don't know what's gonna do after I did click on this. I think
Melo is
we'll,
now take a timeout official greatest NCAA basketball player of all time.
and that matters, dude. When I'm talking about college now, like, don't sleep on Carmelo, man. He's the best player of all time. Like, I'm gonna let people know, man.
Yeah,
Hmm.
send them this link if they don't believe
Mhm.
us.
Now, out of all of these, I think the most hate one we're gonna catch the most hate for if I make TikTok clips and post this or whatever. Um, the Zion losing kind of hurts me. It hurts me to the core. I would have liked to see Zion go up against JJ. That would have
Oh,
been crazy.
yeah, over Rip Hamilton, bro, we're gonna get cooked by kids our age.
Yeah.
Hey, I ain't gonna get cooked. That's all I know.
hmm Yeah. That was fun. That was really fun. We might have to do one more bracket before the season ends. We'll come up with something. We ain't gonna do Starch Madness, but we'll come up with something. That was a lot of fun. Hope you boys had fun. Uh,
Hmm.
Hmm.
we'll be back next week we'll come up with our content but we'll be pushing out clips of this on social media. So share them if you're watching it, if you made it to the end of this video. But yeah, y'all have a blessed week. I appreciate the views, man. But it was real, y'all. Peace.